One day we'll all be gone, and no one will find what we leave behind. No one will find.
Hey everyone, it's Roman Rich. I hope you'll take a second and listen to what I'm about to say because it's really important. It has to do with one of the Route 66 projects I've been working on for a long time. If you don't know who I am, I'm Roman Rich. I do a lot of YouTube videos. I happen to be the president of the Missouri Route 66 Association. I also spend a lot of time on social media, raising money, and promoting all sorts of people and projects and places all up and down Route 66. It's kind of what I do. I've been doing it for about 10 years. And I also happen to be on the Missouri State Centennial Commission for Route 66. So you might say, I know a few things about Route 66. One of the most passionate things I'm involved with is projects like John's Modern Cabins, the Painted Desert Trading Post, Shamrock Motor Court, lots of neon signs, and the Gasconade Bridge. And that's why I'm here today, is to tell you about the Gasconade River Bridge. So I mentioned just a moment ago that I'm on the Centennial Commission. What is the Centennial Commission? What is the purpose of it? What are they supposed to do? Well, for those of you that aren't really familiar with Route 66, it's going to turn 100 years old in 2026. And I've been appointed to that commission as the president of the Missouri Route 66 Association. So who else is on the commission with me? Well, I'll read off a few people. Governor Parsons is supposed to designate somebody to take his place. Also for the Department of Transportation, Patrick McKenna. Department of Natural Resources, Carol Comer. Division of Tourism, Stephen Foutes. Rob Dixon on the Department of Economic Development. Jay Ashcraft for Secretary of State. Either they will be on the commission with me or they will designate someone to be on the commission with me. Why is that so important? Well, because of this Gasconade Bridge, that's why it's so important. The commission is designed to do lots of things in anticipation of the celebration, and I'll just kind of read off some of that here for you so you know exactly what it says in the statute. And I got this right off of Missouri's website. So what we're supposed to do is plan and sponsor official Route 66 Centennial events, programs, and activities in the state. Encourage development of programs designed to involve all citizens in activities that commemorate Route 66 Centennial events in the state, and to the best of the Commission's ability, make available to the public information on Route 66 Centennial events happening throughout the state. So there's a lot of emphasis on the Centennial, 100-year anniversary of Route 66. And I believe, as the president of Route 66, we should be preserving and encouraging other people to preserve all the different assets we have on Route 66. In this particular case, I'm looking at the Gasconade River Bridge. The bridge is really in trouble right now. I mean, these are the last days of the bridge. If you live anywhere near the bridge, you might want to go check it out soon, because I cannot guarantee its existence over the course of the next 12 months. But that's where you can help me. Great Rivers Greenway conducted a study a couple years ago about the importance of Route 66, and 96% of the people surveyed in Laclede County, where the Gasconade River Bridge resides, all agree that saving and preserving Route 66 is very important. Well, there you have it. That's where the bridge is at. That's where the people are being served by the bridge. Here's a little backstory on the bridge. It was closed in late December of 2014. We've been trying to save the bridge ever since. Myself and a lot of other community-minded people. And we've done so much to try to save this bridge. We've raised a lot of money. We've promoted it to different groups. One group from out of Iowa stepped up and tried to save the bridge, and we've all been running into lots of hurdles trying to save it. We believe MODOT, who currently owns the bridge and has been, quote, marketing the bridge for new owners, has acted in bad faith. Now, that's a strong statement, but I've got plenty of facts to back it up. Our most recent proposal was issued last year to MODOT, and they seemed like they were going to work with us on the proposal, but when we actually finalized it and submitted it and used some of their recommendations and some of their wording, they actually rejected that proposal. Now, there's a couple of key things that go into that proposal, because I'm going to give you all the facts. They want to be indemnified and held harmless from any future events that this bridge may produce. Namely, the bridge coming loose from its piers and tumbling downstream during a flood event and colliding with some of the state's property or a bridge. And that sounds really severe, but we actually paid money, almost $12,000, to have a study performed just a few years ago about the bridge, and that is a very, very far-fetched scenario. Now, we all know nothing in life is guaranteed, but we were able to secure a general liability policy in the amount of $5 million when they requested $3 million. So that was part of the issue. They want a policy that is not obtainable. They want complete indemnification. Well, there's no insurance company that will give you that. Nobody that I have found, or anybody else that I've worked with, nobody has found such policy. The next item they rejected us for was lack of fundraising. And I found that pretty interesting because we submitted to them 2 major sponsors for this bridge that promised significant amounts of money. One of the sponsors was interested in seeing the bridge preserved so it could be incorporated into a bicycle trail. And the bicycle trail thing has been going crazy in Missouri, and I think that's going to be a significant situation here coming up. People have been talking about creating a Route 66 trail from all the way in Chicago to Santa Monica for quite some time now. And this bridge would be really helpful in that trail. I've been a part of lots of successful projects, and never once have I ever failed at doing anything as far as Route 66 is concerned in raising money and raising awareness and saving things. I've been a part of all sorts of great stuff, Painted Desert Trading Post, and just go on and on and on. And I'm working on several right now. And I don't see this as being any different. Yes, it's a large project. Yes, it's going to take lots of money. But given the opportunity to own the bridge through the Missouri Route 66 Association, I know that we can do this. The state identified a budget of approximately $575,000 to do some preventative measures to the bridge and stabilizing it. Well, what also comes with this transfer agreement is about $200,000 that the state would transfer to the new owner, hopefully us, the Missouri Route 66 Association. That's 1/3 of the money right there. Raising the other 2/3 shouldn't be a problem through corporate sponsors and the 2 people that have endorsed our project already. They also cited lack of planning. And what's interesting about that is that we spent $12,000 having Sparks Engineering out of Austin, Texas come up and evaluate the bridge, which is part of the whole planning process. But we've had some contradictions. So along the way, some of the MODOT engineers were working with us and actually gave us somewhat of a formula to follow for trying to save the bridge. And part of that formula, which has been used on other bridges on Route 66, was to remove the deck. And the other bridge I'm speaking of is the Times Beach Bridge in St. Louis County, Missouri. They stripped the deck off of that bridge to alleviate overburden weight from being on the structure. It's kind of the same scenario here with the Gasconade River Bridge. We were told that it might be a good idea to strip the deck off the bridge, barricade both entrances to keep anybody from getting out on it, provide some signage, and that would be good enough in the eyes of MODOT to save the bridge. Now, that was all unofficial and spoken to me verbally, but they did go on record later to say, yeah, we did say that. but now we're changing our mind. That was all part of our last proposal, in which MODOT rejected. We were ready to take on the bridge and all the financial stuff that goes along with it, raising money, trying to preserve the bridge, but they just keep kind of moving the goalposts on us, taking it away. Now, what else is MODOT worried about? They're chiefly worried about flooding. Now, the bridge has experienced 3 major flood events in the last 15 years in which water has come up over the deck of the bridge. Previous to 15 years, it's never happened before, but they're worried about logs and trees and stuff coming down the bridge and wiping out the bridge, taking it off its moorings, and that bridge is going to go downstream and hit subsequent bridges. And that is, I guess, somewhat of a possibility, but according to our engineer, which we paid to study the bridge, he said it's very, 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 very far-fetched and is really reaching for things. Through the negotiations, we're talking about all, and it was mentioned in one of the meetings that MODOT cannot own a bridge upstream from another bridge that isn't in use. It was told to us that it was against the rules. It was an interpretation of the Missouri Constitution that you cannot have an old historic bridge upstream from its successor. I'm not making this up, and this comes into play later on. It's very important. Yes, this bridge is upstream from 3 newer bridges, 2 of which serve I-44 and 1 serves the new route of Route 66 that spurs around this old bridge. Part of that statement and what they said about not owning bridges, there's several aspects of that. Number 1, they cannot have a bridge upstream, and number 2, they can't own a bridge that isn't used for transportation anymore. Now, those are 2 key facts that will come into play here in just a moment. I want to talk about just several other bridges located in Missouri that are very important in comparison to the Gasconade River Bridge. One of those is the iconic Chain of Rocks Bridge, which spans the mighty Mississippi River. That bridge went dormant for many, many years, in fact, decades. It was decommissioned in the late 60s and was supposed to be demolished several times. In fact, it was the site of a horrific crime back in the early 90s where some people lost their lives. And still, that didn't even provoke the removal of the bridge. That bridge happens to be upstream from some significant structures that service the water supply for the city of St. Louis, just a couple hundred feet away, in fact. But yet there's never been any real concern about that bridge rotting and falling into the Mississippi River and tumbling downstream. Crazy idea. So that's one bridge. That's the Chain of Rocks Bridge, which indeed was later saved and has now been repurposed as a pedestrian and bicycle trail, and people from all over the world come see it. The Devil's Elbow Bridge, which is a similar bridge to the Gasconade, is located just the next county over in Pulaski County. That bridge was saved by the people of Pulaski County, and it is a great example, and people come from around the world to see it and drive it and walk across it, and you can still drive across it today. It's a great bridge. The next bridge I want to tell you about is the Greens Mill Bridge. It's not a Route 66 bridge. It's north of Route 66, actually north of Gasconade Bridge, not very far, probably 45 minutes. It's a really, really cool bridge. It's what they call a swinging bridge or a suspension bridge, and it's located in Camden County. Now, that bridge is important. Why? That bridge is being saved right now by a small grassroots organization in Camden County. Why is this bridge so important to the Gasconade River Bridge? Well, because you would think it would have to go through the same qualifications as what MODOT put in front of the Missouri Route 66 Association for the Gasconade River Bridge. But that is not the case. In fact, that bridge doesn't have an insurance policy on it right now. That bridge hasn't even gone through a change of ownership right now. It has an indefinite timeline for raising funds to save that bridge. An indefinite timeline. In other words, it could be 6 months or 6 years or 10 years before this group has to raise the money to save this bridge. Now, I'm not saying anything bad against the group, but what I will say is that the Missouri Route 66 Association has over $70,000 in the bank. We've been around for over 30 years. We've taken on and successfully completed multiple preservation projects. We have over 1,000 members, and we were able to secure a $5 million general liability policy. That's the difference. Different rules for the same game, so to speak. Let's take a look at the Times Beach Bridge in St. Louis County. I mentioned it earlier about the deck removal. The deck has been gone off that bridge for many years. The state park has finally found a partner to put funds together to save that bridge and repurpose it, and they're going through renderings right now, trying to come up with a plan to actually put a new deck on that bridge. It's going to be a success story. It's great, and it's also going to be used as a bicycle and walking path. You can kind of see the trend here, can't you? The last bridge I want to mention is also not a Route 66 bridge, but is extremely important because it points out all the flaws and inconsistencies in MODOT's policy. This bridge is located in Eminence, Missouri, over the Jacks Fork. Now, that's a major stream that floods constantly. I mean, all the time. I happen to know because my father goes down there several times annually, and he's been flooded out of his campground several times. Now, why is this bridge so important? Well, it's pretty simple because it points out the inconsistencies in MODOT statements that I mentioned earlier about not owning a bridge that isn't in use for transportation anymore and is upstream from its successor. This bridge over the Jacks Fork is located within 10 feet of its successor. Now, the Gasconade River Bridge is located several hundred feet away from its successor. This bridge has been abandoned since 2003 and has since been repurposed into a pedestrian bridge, a footbridge, which is not a form of transportation. Even a bicycle bridge, according to MODOT, is a transportation bridge, but they classify this bridge as a footbridge, not transportation whatsoever, and it's located upstream from the modern replacement bridge over a river that floods out constantly with lots of debris. Now, you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Roman Rich, why is this bridge still there? Why did they do that? Why did they allow that? Well, I didn't really know, but I brought it up in our last conversation, and the only explanation they could give to me was, well, this is a very important bridge. This bridge was saved in the name of a politician. So who is this politician? Well, I've still failed to figure out who it is. I did a lot of research on it, tried to figure it out, went through the archives, and I don't know who this bridge is named after or why it was saved. But to me, that doesn't really matter because aren't we talking about the most famous highway in the world? Not in Eminence, but Route 66, where the Gasconade River Bridge resides. That's right, Route 66 is by far the most famous highway in the entire world. And we're having trouble saving this bridge that's on this highway, but yet somehow MODOT figured out a way to save a bridge in the little town of Eminence, Missouri over the Jacks Fork River. It's not making any sense. If MODOT can save that bridge and keep it on its inventory, I think we have two solutions in front of us. Either we go with the first solution, which is transfer ownership of the Gasconade River Bridge over to the Route 66 Association of Missouri, who has a $5 million general liability policy, $70,000 in the bank, over 1,000 members, and lots of people willing to donate money to worthy projects. I think we can do this. Or we have solution number two. Maybe it's time to name the Gasconade Bridge after a famous politician, and that'll give it enough credit to save it and devote some money towards keeping it and using it as a pedestrian bridge. If they can do it in Eminence, Missouri, surely they can find a way to do it here in Hazel Green. So what do you think? Do you think the Centennial Commission, which I'm a member of, should help find a way to save this bridge and make it a part of the Centennial celebration in 2026? Do you think MODOT should try a little harder to find a solution that works for everyone? I think so. I mean, after all, we're talking about an attraction that brings in people from all over the world. People come from all over the world to experience this bridge, ride bicycles across it, walk across it, explore the surroundings, explore the Gasconade River. It's just a beautiful piece of the landscape. I've always said, when people stop and get out of their cars as they're traveling, it usually leads to them doing other things, which most importantly for people watching this, especially business owners and anybody who's involved in tourism, is spending money. When people stop in little Hazel Green, Missouri, Laclede County over the Gasconade River, they're going to be heading west or east. If they're heading west, they're going to stop in Lebanon and they're going to possibly buy gas or eat food or get lodging. They're going to spend money. Same thing goes for the eastbound traveler. They're going to stop in Pulaski County, probably at Waynesville or St. Robert, and they're going to have the same consumer habits there. This bridge is important to bringing in tourism dollars. And this isn't the only case where a historic bridge has brought people in off of Route 66. It's been done in Winona, Arizona. It's been done at the Rio Puerco Bridge outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's been done in Riverton, Kansas. And just announced recently, Oklahoma has decided to spend over $20 million on their Route 66 bridge that crosses over the East Canadian River. It's a bridge consisting of over 30 pony trusses near Bridgeport, Oklahoma. Oklahoma found it important enough to invest in their history, their heritage, and their tourism. I think we as Missourians should do the same thing. All right, I've been talking long enough. You're probably dying how to get rid of me, and I'll tell you how. I need your help. I need you to pick up the phone and call these people down in the comments in the description below. But before you do that, I need you to share this. If you're seeing it on YouTube, I need you to send it to all your friends. If you're seeing it on Facebook, I need you to share it with all your groups and your pages and your friends. No matter what the topic, if it's abandoned Missouri or abandoned places or historic roads, you'll understand that this bridge is important to a lot of different people. I need you to share it. But when you get done sharing it, please call every one of these people down below. We have a meeting Tuesday, that's right, less than 24 hours from now, with MODOT, with Federal Highways Commission, and we're going to figure out the fate of the bridge, I think, after this meeting. So I'm hoping with your effort and your help, we can get to the people that matter, get to the people that are going to make a difference and help save this bridge. I appreciate your help. I'm Roman Rich. As always, go your own way. I hope to see you next time, and I hope to see you at the Gasconade River Bridge.
They will all be gone. No